In Fargo, North Dakota, where winter temperatures dip well below freezing, U.S. Air Force veteran Mark Lindquist is sleeping in a tent with no heating or electricity and just a Ukrainian song keeping him warm.
Yellow tent, and then I have a blue tarp on top. And I do have the Ukrainian flag hanging outside. I can show you that.
Lindquist is thousands of miles away from Ukraine, but his Operation Sleep Out is aimed at providing humanitarian aid to Ukraine. He spends nights in a tent and travels to nearby towns and villages to collect clothes for Ukrainians and explain why it's important to help.
This is what one man brought this morning. One man from Park Rapids, Minnesota. If one man can do that, imagine if we all pitched in.
So I'm challenging citizens to reach into their own pockets and support the cause of freedom like my grandparents did 80 years ago during World War II.
After serving in the U.S. Air Force, Lindquist ran unsuccessfully for Congress as the only Democratic congressional candidate in Minnesota's 7th District. But everything changed for him after Russia invaded Ukraine. Lindquist came to Lviv, Ukraine for the first time just weeks after the invasion, bringing warm clothing and medication. Since then, he traveled to Ukraine a few more times, working with volunteers both in Ukraine and abroad. He plans to go again in January.
As soon as we raise enough money and collect enough supplies, we go back and deliver it into the country. And we've been out in the Donbass. I lived in Kharkiv, lived in Dnipro, really been everywhere but Kherson and Odessa.
Lindquist says his Operation Sleep Out shows how hard things are for Ukrainians today.
Whether they be living in Kyiv, living in a village or a trench, they don't get to choose. So I just wanted to show Americans with my actions just how rough it could be and get them to think about the fact that there are people on the other side of the planet who don't have a warm home to go to.
The city of Fargo in North Dakota is one of the coldest in the U.S. Nighttime temperatures here reach minus 30 degrees Celsius. Yet, Lindquist plans to spend 17 nights outdoors, regardless of the temperatures. Those who want to help Lindquist get a list of necessities from him. At the moment, his priority is orphanages in Ukraine. He himself was adopted by an American family from a Seoul orphanage in 1982.
Oh, you Lucy, червона калина, покулилася.
For Nina Vishneva in New York, Anna Rice, VOA News.
When нас славна Україна